This is the first post that I came across on the Reddit. No, not on Reddit. On this news article, which grabbed my attention. You can read the full story, or you can read the screenshots I'll share. Uh, people are saying that the girl is exaggerating the situation, or it's not even a problem. But I feel, especially when you write a post on Reddit to seek advice, it means you're serious about this. People are very honest when it comes to things like these. So, if you look at it, the girl is not upset because of these small things entirely. She might be a little upset, but what might be causing her even more problem is the fear. No, not the fear, but the way her husband is not taking a stand for her or himself even. This is what might be upsetting her more, because in situations like these, this can be avoided. But when you're not able to take a stand for yourself or for your wife in big life situations or decisions, that's when it can create a problem. That's when it can be a challenge. And I feel that this is what might be giving her the fear. I want to talk about what the guy must be feeling, and then I want to talk about what the girl is feeling and why is she feeling that. And then I want to talk about a solution, because on this series we talk about solutions. Let's see how the guy is feeling. The guy, even though he says it as a joke, that he will not tell it to his family, that he will keep a vrat for her, even though he would keep it. First of all, this shows that he has respect for the relationship and he has love for her. But then comes not being able to take a stand for himself. Now, this might be coming up because of a fear that he might be carrying within. Some emotional past pain which makes him feel fearful of telling it to his family and then receiving the tag. He might not be able to carry that well, because it might be so heavy on him that it might feel very uneasy for him to be able to take a tag like that for on himself. There's a lack of self belief or self trust that is reflecting in this fear, and this is what the guy might be feeling, but he is not even able to communicate this fear with himself. He might not be even aware that he has this fear, or maybe he is, but he would never acknowledge it because he says it as a joke, but in situations where he should take a stand or he can take a stand, when he avoids to do that, it means the fear is active, but it's being unacknowledged, right? Now, again, we are not trying to blame him because this fear is acceptable. It is a fear that he is carrying because of some unhealed wound, emotional wound. And when we are looking at from a third person perspective, or we are looking at it from an observer point of view, we are just observing things. So we can observe that there's a fear and there's an underlying belief, and therefore this all of this is resulting in him not being able to take a stand for himself or her. But we know that he has respect for the relationship and for her. We will assume that for sure. Now, what the girl is feeling, as I said earlier, she might be able to handle what happened in these two situations, but the fear might be coming because of a bigger issue. Something that might come up in the future where he needs to take a stand, and if he isn't able to do that, then that would come up as a very challenging situation for her. Right? She says that she is losing respect for him. But now when I say that there's a fear because of which he is not able to take the stand, now with that awareness, now that we all know that this person has a fear because of which he is not able to do a certain thing, now what would you say? Now the girl would even understand that if this is fear, then it can be healed, and therefore now she would not lose respect for him because now there would be acceptance and understanding of his fear, which is something that can be healed. And when it will be healed, then he will be able to take a stand, and then there will be no situation for the girl to feel that she's losing the respect for him, right? There won't be a situation that would come up like that to make her feel that way, right? So we know that it's just a fear that needs to be healed. Now, who will heal that fear? The one who knows what the problem is should initiate healing the fear, don't you think? The girl is aware of the problem at least. The guy might be aware in his own mind but won't say it out loud, which is fine. Or he might not be aware of it at all. no matter what. It might be difficult to have a verbal communication if the guy is not able to communicate his own fear with himself, then we cannot expect him to discuss that fear with you, the girl, right? Therefore, the girl can do it herself. The girl can heal the pain, transform his fear for him single handedly. This is what I'm saying as the solution of this problem. Now let's see how. The girl is aware of the problem that he is not able to take the stand. Now, with this awareness, now she also knows that he is carrying a fear. Now, if we unwrap it further, we know that this fear is coming from a lack of self belief or something that he might have had. There might be a story behind this belief, right? So, he might have had some past story with his family where he might have uh, faced a situation where if he took a stand for him, he might have had to face repercussions of that, right? Which might have made him go into a cocoon, maybe, and not express or not take a stand for him because that results in opposition and not agreement, right? So, which is why there's a sanskar that has been created that he shouldn't take a stand. He shouldn't voice his opinion, especially in front of his family, maybe. Something like that. Now, this might be the story behind it, and the belief that he is carrying now is that he shouldn't voice his opinion, something like that, which is resulting in a lack of self belief, self trust, self respect, even. And then the fear. Now we get the complete picture of what he is feeling. So the girl is aware of the problem and the fear behind it. Therefore, it's easier for her heal it because that's the only step that's left. Why should only the girl do it? Or why should only I do it? Why not the other person? If I do it now, then for the rest of my life, I would have to do it for him or for the other person. Uh, no, because you heal it once, and then when you heal this one pain, there's a series of other pains or wounds that you heal in this process. When you work on one thing, the other things are also worked out and solved in that process, right? And then, even then, if you have to do it, then you should do it. You know why? Because you are emotionally more aware, you are quick to understand the problem, and therefore you also attract the solution in some way, like this audio, and then you also try to come up with the solution. So that's in you. So you don't have to deny that. You are a healer, basically, which is why you are here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this up until now. So accept that. And being a healer is the most beautiful thing. So you should give credit to yourself for doing that and for having that ability and that awareness of your ability. Acknowledge it and have your respect for doing this for yourself. You should know that you have this ability and that you are emotionally strong enough to be able to do it for your life partner, right? So the girl can heal his fear. Can I quickly give you a mental picture of how it would look like if this fear is healed? Because I thought about this. If his fear is healed, let's say, then what might happen? He will carry a belief in himself. He will be full of respect for himself. He will have so much self respect that there is no fear when he takes a stand for himself or his wife, that there is an influence on his family and the people around him or the other relationships, that because this person is so powerful in his own voice when he says it and when he takes a stand for it, that influences other people in the family or whoever he meets. There's a positive influence that happens. So now imagine him taking a stand for himself and him acknowledging that he is going to take the vrat for her, and then his family, instead of giving that tag to him in the news story, the members of his family also take the vrat for their wives. Why not? Imagine the future of this family when even others learn how to voice their opinions for the right thing, do the right thing, take a stand for the right thing. And when they do, it doesn't create pain for anyone, it doesn't hurt anyone because it's done in so much grace and so much strength and so much power. It's not taken negatively, it is not happening in a negative way. It's divinely right for everyone together in the family. That's the influence of a person who has won over his fear. Because someone decided to manifest it for them. If also I may take some time to state another fact, there's another perspective that we can look at this, that when you see something like this happening with you, when you say that the other person doesn't take a stand for you, then there is also a possibility for you to take a stand for yourself, which maybe you might not be able to take up, right? So even there's a chance that we also carry a fear that needs to be healed, that is being reflected back to us through that other person. And this fear that we see in that person, this might be our own fear. And if we decide to heal it for the other person, it's actually us healing the pain and the fear of our own. Do you see that? Because ultimately it is our own consciousness and what's happening within us that's always shown to us, or that's what we see around us. That's what happens around us. If you are strong enough to know that even when you listen to this truth, you don't have to take it on yourself. You can again choose to be an observer of this fact. And now you decide to heal yourself and heal them. That's what you'll do. Right? Say yes. I don't know what the person who is listening to this is going through. If you are also someone who are going through a similar situation, then you might be able to understand what I'm saying and even know that you can implement this on your in your own life, right? So the girl, now we know that the girl is healing herself and therefore healing him. It means one and the same thing. And then the transformation, we also pictured that. There can be a lot of situations going on in the family which might make us believe that it's not possible to reach that level of goodness in your life, in our life, right? But you don't have to believe that all of it happens in one blink of an eye. It will happen slowly and steadily, but it's not impossible. When you can see that change happen, that's when you can also feel that things can rather change quickly as well. If you have faith in it, then that's possible too. So, now we know that we need to heal our own pain or his pain. How do we heal the pain that we are carrying or the other person is carrying? How do we do that? Healing the pain and the solution for it is just one thing. We understand the fear, we break it down, we understand the beliefs that we're carrying, and we switch it. That's what we do. So, all we need to do is, if we are aware that he believes or he doesn't rather. He doesn't believe in himself that much. It might be true that in some other life situations he might believe completely in himself, like his work or things like that. He might be able to take a stand for himself in situations like that. But when it comes to family, then there's a different take, right? So all we need to do is make that big, that he believes in himself. Make it big. Don't make the fear and that those situations where he doesn't take a stand, don't make those situations big. Don't give that too much attention, but shift your attention to where he actually believes in himself and make it bigger. Enlarge it so that he can believe in himself more, so that he can heal himself, so that you can send him the energy and so that you can heal him. When you say that he believes in himself, when you say that he trusts in himself, when you say that he has a lot of respect for himself, it sends him that energy. It gives him that power that he wasn't able to create for himself. You say it for yourself too that I believe in myself. I respect myself. And if there is something that makes you think that a statement like this or an affirmation like this is not something that's working for you, you don't believe in this, right? Let's say you don't believe in it completely. For yourself or even him, you can't believe it for him. Then we have to dig a little more deeper, right? Now we can again further question why is it that we cannot believe that. Now we can again analyze the situation, analyze the fear even more, analyze what's going underneath, which which is making us feel that we cannot think this for ourselves or for them. Now, what is it that we have not said yet to ourselves? Right? There might be something else too in this story which we are not aware of, right? Which only the girl or the guy is aware of. So now that the girl needs to explore for herself. And when that happens, then again, some new fear might come up, some new underlying limiting belief might come up, something, some old story, some past wound that needs to be healed might come up for acknowledgement, recognition, acceptance, understanding, and then to be transformed and to be replaced completely, right? So we keep working on ourselves. We don't have to keep repeating the affirmations if they don't work for us. That's not the point. The solution is not an affirmation. The solution is understanding the fears, understanding our own story from an observer's point of view, and just observe ourselves, notice our own thoughts and feelings, and then replace them. Then switch them with a new belief. Then create the new story for us, right? Because um, directly, maybe we may not accept the new story for ourselves, but after acknowledging some of these fears, it becomes easier for us to create the new story of our new beliefs for ourselves, right? Which is free from the fears but carries complete faith and love, respect, belief, all of that. There's some truths that I need to know which can make me believe in the new story that I create for myself, the new beliefs that I create for myself that can take me away from my fear. There's something fundamentally true that I need to understand and know and become aware of before I can change those beliefs. Right? So, that truth comes from the understanding of spirituality and manifesting principles. For me, that is where my truth comes from, like for everyone. But this is where you can find the reasons uh, because of which you can change your beliefs, right? And why you should have the new belief and why the new belief can be true. You There needs to be some logical reason, some reason that can back that up so you can believe that to be true for yourself. Therefore, that understanding is necessary, which is what worked for me in my own experience. So, this is what I would choose to do if I were in her shoes, which is what we do in this series. We take up a situation we find in Reddit, and I put myself in their shoes and I try to come up with a solution. Given that I have the awareness of the the fundamentals, the spirituality and the manifesting principles, right? So what did we do in order to heal that fear? It's actually quite simple. If we can if the fear is only about the belief that he has in himself, then switching our beliefs that we have for them, that can perfectly do the job for us. But if there's something else that's hidden in the situation that we're not aware of, that I am not aware of, then I need to figure that out. And then, accordingly, we can reach the solution. That's what I would do, right? I want to make sure that I'm being clear enough, that I'm being understood. Let me know in the comments below what you feel. As I said in the previous part of the series, the first part of the series, this is actually the first Reddit post that I found out, which I thought of, uh, because of which I thought of creating this series. But I recorded this audio for that post first. So I will upload that first and this second. But this is what I read first. So I already said in that one that there might be a lot of questions in your mind, in the mind of the listener, the what ifs and the buts and the ifs that I might not be able to see and answer those in here, but you can comment that below and we can then try to come up with the solution of that. And that is what can make things even more interesting for us. Because when you will see that there can be a solution for even that, then it would make it even more interesting for you too. So, this is what the series is about, and we are here to come up with solutions for all our questions and all our problems. So, let's do it. In the comments, let's discuss it respectfully, and I'll see you in the next Reddit post that I find. And thank you for listening.